assembly stand and salute. Till hold. Like this. Ready, shoot.
Please stand and join Joy Peterson as she leads the pledge to our flag, followed by the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner by Maple Point's concert and cadet choirs.
Assembly and salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Good morning. I'm Kevin Hastings, Social Studies Department Chairperson here at Maple Point Middle School. Welcome to our annual Veterans Day celebration, and thank you to all the staff and students who have helped put this day together. Veterans Day is a time for us to pay our respects to those who have served the United States of America. On this day, and every day, we stand united in respect for you, our veterans. Veterans Day was first celebrated as Armistice Day, the day that marked the end of World War I, formally recognized on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918. Today, we continue to celebrate our veterans. We particularly remember all veterans from our Maple Point and Neshaminy communities. You are remembered today and every day by our students and staff, and we greatly appreciate the sacrifice and service you have provided to protect all the rights and freedoms we now enjoy. As Abraham Lincoln once wrote, "Honor to the soldier and sailor everywhere who bravely bears his country's cause. Honor also to the citizen who cares for his brother in the field and serves as he best can the same cause. Honor to him only less than to him who braves for the common good the storms of heaven and the storms of battle." We greatly appreciate all you have done for us and continue to do for our country. Thank you, veterans. And now I'm going to ask Mr. Neil French, Vice Principal at Maple Point, to talk.
Thank you, Mr. Hastings. Obviously, this is a day that we look forward to every year, one of the first days that we circle on our calendar. And when we have events in this auditorium, the musical or concerts, I refer to the stage as our front porch. And there is no one we are more excited to have on the porch than who joins us here today. I want to thank everybody for taking time out of busy schedules to join us today. In the two wings of the stage, we have some community members that I would like to introduce and thank for their support of this event. Neshaminy School Board, represented here today by Mr. Kellen Sporney, Ms. Alicia Lafferty, and Mr. Marty Sullivan. To those and all of our board members who provide the resources and support for the things we do all year, we would like to say thank you. Two of our Middletown Township supervisors join us here today, Anna Payne and Bernadette Hanna. Thank you to both. Bucks County District Attorney Matt Weintraub is here. I'd like to thank Matt. There was a period of time where this event had to take on different shapes and forms due to the pandemic, and not only did Matt step up to support those different versions, but he was in our classrooms via Zoom and coming out to speak to the students. We're glad to have the event back where it is, and Matt has been with us every step of the day, every step of the way. Mr. Kevin Bongarzone is here representing Congressman Fitzpatrick's office, and Nicole McGarry is here. She's a constituent relations specialist representing PA Senator Frank Ferry's office. I'd just like to take a moment and pause and acknowledge all of those who are giving of their time here today. Thank you very much. Each speaker you hear is going to put a piece of the puzzle in place, and my piece is to teach our students and those who have joined us today as to how this all came about. Many of the staff members who were on the original committee are with us here today, and it was their vision and their drive that have put us in the position that we find ourselves now. In the fall of 2001, this Maple Point family, and it's a word we don't use loosely, we were hurting. Like many people around the country, we were hurting and we were looking for a way to start the healing process. It was a simple gesture. A flag was painted outside on the hill, outside this school. And it was a simple gesture to send the message to the community where our hearts were and where our support was at the time. And from the moment that flag was painted, what you see here today began to evolve. As many joined the military in response to the attacks on September 11th, our focus turned towards our veterans. Over the last 22 years, over 8,000 students have been introduced to well over 1,000 veterans as a result of this very special celebration. The students who have come before and are here today have listened to the powerful words of heroes from all branches of the military, including some that were part of our own Maple Point staff. Unifying staff members from all across the district and community members at large, this event has become part of the fabric of this school and a tremendous source of pride for those who call Maple Point home. This isn't something that we do, this is who we are. Today's big ideas are commitment, selflessness, and unity. We challenge everyone in this room to go further and go forth and further the tradition of this event by carrying those ideals to your little corner of the world. Do the next right thing and involve commitment, selflessness, and unity. Work hard to create a legacy like the ones you see on this stage here today. To our veterans, thank you very much for being with us today. And more importantly, thank you for your service. At this time, I'd like to introduce Neshaminy School District Superintendent, Mr. Jason Bowman.
Thank you, Mr. French. Good morning and welcome staff, students, and community members, but most importantly to our veterans and active servicemen and women that are here with us this morning. Welcome to Maple Point and welcome to Neshaminy School District. First, let me thank our Veterans Day Celebration Committee members, our administration here at Maple Point, and our students for continuing to organize this amazing event annually. I'd like to thank our Facility and Grounds Department also for once again creating the flag mural next to the entrance at Maple Point that Mr. French spoke about. Veterans Day provides us with the opportunity to recognize and to thank our servicemen and women for raising their hand to defend our freedoms and our country. Despite the sacrifice and the risk, you put your lives on hold to ensure that we will always be able to live the free lifestyle we're afforded in this great country. So on behalf of the Neshaminy School District, it's with great gratitude that we thank you for your service. Your bravery and dedication should serve as an example to all. Thank you for keeping us safe and working to protect our country and the way of life that we live. Students, today is a day we thank our servicemen and women for their courage, their selfless service, and their patriotism. It's a day to show our appreciation for those who have fought and sacrificed, but please keep this in mind every day, not just on Veterans Day. Take the opportunity whenever possible to acknowledge and thank a veteran. Veterans, again, welcome to Neshaminy School District, and please enjoy your day. I'd like to now introduce State Representative Joe Hogan to say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. I am incredibly thankful and grateful to be here today. I am a new representative. This is my first time in this capacity for this event, but I was in 8th grade, like a lot of you in attendance here, when 9/11 happened. I was 13 years old, and I had just witnessed very traumatic events, thinking, what is the world going to be like in the next couple of days, weeks, months, and years? And it wasn't the most peaceful of times. There was a lot of questions about the world that was going on, and a lot of other things happened. And I'm sure a lot of you are dealing with those same types of questions right now as we watch world events. But I'm thankful to be here in Maple Point Middle School, but also thankful to be in the United States of America. There's a reason that millions of people try to come into our country every single year, and part of it is because the men and women upstage with me today, the men and women that joined the armed services, that fought, served our country. They didn't know where they were going. They didn't know what they were going to be doing in many cases, but they enlisted because of love of this country. And there's others that also serve our community, whether it's law enforcement or firefighters or even your teachers, people that give back every single day to make America and make our community the best possible place that we can for everyone here and every future generation of Americans. But as it's been mentioned, and as we all know, we're honoring our veterans community. And if you look in this crowd, they're not all in their military uniforms. A lot of them are wearing other hats, insignia, because the veterans community in the United States of America continues to serve. Once their time is up, their contract is up, they find other ways to continue to serve, whether it is as a teacher or whether it is in law enforcement or any other profession, or it's in a veteran service organization like the VFW, the American Legion, the Marine Corps. They give back, they continue to serve their community, and they continue to make America the best place on earth. So I want to thank everyone on stage today. I want to thank everyone for coming out to honor our veterans and to recognize the sacrifice that they made as, in many cases, very young men and women, not much older than you today. So thank you for coming out, understanding this, and being a part of this, and let's continue this tradition every year for as long as we're alive. Thank you all, and thank our veterans. Thank you.
And now, Brooklyn Reeves, Liam Clark, Chloe Bryson, and Leighton Jones will present our honored veterans. Please hold your applause until the last veteran is called. Thank you.
Kevin T. Anderson, Army Specialist 5. Eugene Bioncherry, Army Specialist 4. Paul J. Belarski, National Guard, Staff Sergeant E6. John R. Bossman, Army. Darrell Brenner Sr., Army, E4 Specialist. Gus Kales, Marine Corps, Staff Sergeant. Chris Chantry, Marine Sergeant. Kenneth Christine, Marine Corps, CPL Corporal. Michael Clark, Marine Corps, Sergeant. Robert James Crozier, Army, Specialist 5th Class, Sergeant. Martin Danielson, Army, Specialist E4. Paul F. Day Jr., Marine Corps, E4. Joseph M. Dickerson, Marine Corps, Sergeant E4. Frederick Donnelly, Marine Corps, Corporal. Sarah Dorr, Navy, Chief Petty Officer. John Dott, Navy, Seaman. Jack Dunkley, Marine Corps, Lance Corporal. And Carl Dunce, Air Force Sergeant.
Bruce Eckel, Navy, E6 Petty Officer, First Class. James Germain, Air Force. Anthony Griffith, Army Sergeant. Joseph Grimes, Army Captain. Ryan Hamilton, Marine Corps Captain. Tom Hauserman, Petty Officer, Second Class. Terry Higgins, Air Force Staff Sergeant. Richard Ilzik, Navy, 05 Commander. Michael Jemison, Navy, Yeoman 3rd Class Submarine Service. John Coble, Marine Corps Sergeant. George Kozak, Marine Corps Corporal. Jeremy Lohr, Marine Corps Corporal. Jim Mansfield, Army Sergeant. Benjamin A. Mastridge, Army Private First Class. Michael T. McGeary, Navy, Petty Officer 3rd Class, Seabee. Richard McMillan, Air Force Sergeant. Michael Moyer, Marine Corporal. Bob Osterhout, Army Specialist.
Stephen W. Pape, Marine Corps Sergeant. Jack Pashley, Army Sergeant. Pasquale Pico, Army Specialist. John Quinn, Air Force Sergeant. Joey Rawson, Marine Corps, E5 Corporal. Mark Renfro, Navy Sergeant. Melissa Robison, Army National Guard, Sergeant First Class. Kyle Rollins, Marine Corps, Corporal. Jack Rossania, Army Sergeant. Heather Salhanek, Navy, Master at Arms Petty Officer, 2nd Class. Gerald Schmidt, Army Specialist. Charles Schumacher, Air Force. Paul Shanahan, USN Seabees, SW3E4. Vern Shaw, Army Colonel. Mike Silva, Navy, Petty Officer, 3rd Class. Chuck Smith, Army Sergeant. Mark Summers, Air Force Staff Sergeant.
Vincent Tarantino, Air Force, Captain Intelligence Officer. Christopher Tyson, Army, Lieutenant Colonel. Lynn Tyson, Army, Major. Richard Toscano, Navy, 2nd Class Petty Officer. Belinsky Toussaint, Army, Major. Frank Veda, Air Force, Sergeant. Alan Wagenman, Army, Specialist, 4th Class. Brian Watson, Army, E4. Kristen Weber, Air Force, Technical Sergeant. Raymond Weldy, Army, Specialist 4th Class. Rich White Jr., Army, Sergeant. Rich White Sr., Army, Sergeant. Wayne Whiteley, Army, Specialist 4th Class. William White, Army, Specialist 4th Class. Charles Williams, Army, Sergeant E5. Robert Zack, Army, Specialist 4th Class. Dorothy Ziegler, Cadet Nurse Corps, St. Christopher's Hospital Nurse. Larry Turner, Marines Sergeant. John Ketterer, Marines Lance Corporal. Thomas Pease, Army Specialist Infantry. Michael Heil, Army PF Class. Raymond Robson, Navy Photographer, 1st Class. Albert Cabasous, Air Force, E5 Staff Sergeant. Please join me in a round of applause for these wonderful veterans.
Please welcome to the stage Maple Point Middle School's concert choir for their Armed Forces musical tribute.
Stand the Good morning. My name is Carol Foley, and I'm one of the 8th grade teachers here at Maple Point Middle School. Our days here at Maple Point wouldn't be the same without today's keynote speaker. We know her as our school resource officer who fills this place with positive energy. But her years of service as a veteran and leader are a big part of what makes her the strong person she is today. She's a graduate of Central Bucks East High School, Montgomery County Community College, Drexel University, and Del Valle College. Her 20 years of service in the Army National Guard ran concurrent with 13 years as a police officer. 8 of those years were served right here in Middletown, Bucks County. But her favorite, perhaps, and toughest job is as a mom of 3, ages 9, 6, and 5. Please help me welcome to the podium Officer Melissa Robison.
Good morning, and thank you for that warm welcome and introduction. I want to extend my sincere thanks to all the veterans who came today to take part in this recognition and celebration of your innumerable amount of achievements, sacrifices, and your unwavering support to defend our country. Veterans Day is one of those holidays that doesn't have a great significance or impact to many. Sure, it was created to celebrate the war to end all wars and recognizing those who fought for that peace. But in reality, Veterans Day for many is simply a day off. But for a very small percentage of us, this day holds more meaning than any words from any thesaurus can capture. Merely being in the presence of other veterans with whom I surely share some common experiences, it gives me peace. It gives me pride. And most of all, I feel accepted. These men and women next to me know what I know. They have seen what I've seen, and they have been through the things that I've been through. They have walked many miles in my boots. So while you may enjoy a day of respite on Veterans Day, I encourage you to take a moment to say thank you. Your thanks are appreciated, even though you can't possibly know what you are thanking us for. But that's okay. We have chosen to take on those burdens so that others do not. We have chosen to live with the repercussions of our service, and a simple thank you is enough. I have to say that speaking here today in a middle school about Veterans Day is a real full circle moment for me. Like Ms. Foley said, I grew up not far from here in Central Bucks, and I wanted what everybody else wanted as we hit high school, and that was to go to college and have that college experience. Unfortunately, the means to go to college were not available to me because of some financial hardships that my family suffered. I found out the Army would pay for me to go to college as long as I agreed to a 6-year term of service, and I thought that this was the best laid plan that I could come up with. On September 11, 2001, I had finally stuffed my pockets with enough change to make weight. I finally had my braces taken off, I had baby teeth pulled, and I had an eye doctor certify that I wasn't actually blind. I stood in a heavily wooded, paneled room, raising my right hand, swearing to defend our country against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. While only a few sentences into that oath, a naval officer came crashing into the room, screaming at us to get out. After a few moments of confusion, I figured that this had to be some kind of scare tactic to get us ready for what basic training was all about. I stood my ground and pretended not to be scared as I continued to read the oath. Eventually, my recruiter was brought into the room to drag me out and remove me from the building. It wasn't quite 9 o'clock in the morning, and unbeknownst to us, the North Tower of the World Trade Center had just been struck by a plane that was hijacked by terrorists. Neither my recruiter nor I could understand why we were being forced out of the building in such a rush. It wasn't until we got to the local bridge and asked the toll taker what was happening. She simply said a plane hit the World Trade Center. I remember feeling stunned, but not really understanding what that had to do with me or the military post we were just kicked out of. I went about my morning and headed over to my former middle school to pick up my little sister for a dentist appointment. Back in those days, you could just walk into the school without much notice and wander the halls to go retrieve a sibling. As I walked past my former social studies classroom, my teacher, Mr. Higgins, spotted me in the hallway. Once again, I found myself being dragged into a room and being shoved into a chair. He told me to just sit and watch. By this time, both of the towers had been struck. The words terrorist attack were starting to hit the airwaves. I remember mumbling out to Mr. Higgins, "What have I just done?" He looked at me with confusion and I said, "I just joined the Army today." I will never forget the look on his face as I got to my feet and left the school. My middle school experience was the absolute best of my entire life. I had some of the best, most supportive teachers that one could hope for, and sharing that fateful day with my middle school is a memory that I will never forget. Years down the line, the same middle school teacher showed up to my going away party as I shipped off to Iraq. They sent care packages overseas, and they invited me back to their classrooms upon my return. So again, being here in middle school to talk to Veterans Day at the conclusion of my 20 years of service is really a full circle moment. Shout out to Tamden Middle School, Mr. Higgins, Ms. Trimby, Ms. Trimber, Mr. Sterner, Ms. Sheffy, and tons other. For so many reasons, I feel very blessed, honored, and very lucky to be here today. There are many who I and we have lost along the way, and we will always remember them fondly. I'm grateful to be here with you to honor all the veterans who came before us, those who stood alongside us, and those who will come after us. Thank you, and go Army.
We have now come to the part of our ceremony when students representing our 8th grade will share writing and song to recognize our thanks to these veterans. Molly Beggs, Kara Sullivan, Nia Lang, and Blake Angelini will each present part of this tribute.
Freedom Isn't Free by Kelly Strong. I watched the flag pass by one day. It fluttered in the breeze. A young Marine saluted it, and then he stood at ease. I looked at him in uniform, so young, so tall, so proud. With hair cut square and eyes alert, he'd stand out in any crowd. I thought how many men like him had fallen through the years, how many died on foreign soil, how many mothers' tears. How many pilots' planes shot down, how many died at sea, how many foxholes were soldiers' graves. No, freedom isn't free. I heard the sound of taps one night when everything was still. I listened to the bugler play and felt a sudden chill. I wondered just how many times that taps had meant amen when a flag had draped a coffin of a brother or a friend. I thought of all the children, of the mothers and the wives, of fathers, sons, and husbands with interrupted lives. I thought about a graveyard at the bottom of the sea of unmarked graves in Arlington. No, freedom isn't free.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. 5 words, 1 freedom engraved into parchment by our founding fathers. Those 5 words are all it took for me to answer the question of how this astonishing country inspires me. Life. This country allows for the type of individualism that citizens do not have in other countries. As an American, you are not compressed into a mold of a person someone thinks you should be. You get to see, touch, feel, and learn things that expand you into a unique individual, free from the restrictions that people in other countries face. Liberty is the protection of basic civil rights and other freedoms that the Constitution guarantees each citizen of the United States. This liberty provides equal opportunity, so no one feels less than. No one has to feel less than they truly are, which is a valued human and a valued American citizen. The pursuit of happiness gives you the space to let your heart guide you to your life's purpose. There is no government suppressing you into a person they believe you should be. With this freedom of expression comes the space to smile and feel true happiness, love, sadness, and anger. This space allows you to live a life that is genuine. America, as it has been created, inspires me because it knows that not everyone is the same. America does not have the oppression that other countries in this world instill to fuel the delusion that the world isn't changing. No matter what laws are in place, other countries will not be able to eliminate the change and human differences that America embraces. The America that inspires me is not perfect. It is perfectly imperfect. This glorious country's past, present, and future are rooted in the journey to freedom and is evolving into a better, more accepting country. Evolving into a country where people live a life so full it's overflowing into a beautiful mess. People whose beliefs in freedom and fierce passion have built this great nation and will continue to inspire me each day as I wake up as an American citizen.
In Flanders Field by Lieutenant Colonel John McCrane. In Flanders Field, the poppies blow between the crosses row on row that mark our place, and in the sky the larks, still bravely singing, fly. We are the dead. Short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunsets glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Field. To take up our quarrel with foe, to you from falling hands we throw the torch, be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith from us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Field.
Ready, two, see.
For our last selection today, our choirs will present a special rendition of America the Beautiful, including original lyrics written and read by Gianna Contorso, Elise DiMaria, and Maddie Trapiano.
For
life and put our country first. You protected our country, and we are so thankful for your service.
You are a hero to us and everyone.
Good morning. First, I would like to thank all of our veterans who are here today for their service. It has been my absolute honor to be part of the team welcoming you, to meet you, and to hear about your experiences. Students, I know that you are going to leave today and reflect on what you have seen and what you have heard. It's my hope that today leaves you with the enormity of seeing just how much can be accomplished when people work together for something bigger than themselves. All of our honored guests have been willing to sacrifice and work hard for something that they believe in, our country. And no matter where your path takes you in life, I know that those same skills of sacrifice and hard work will be essential to your success. Veterans, our students have made you a gift, so please take that on your way out of the auditorium. Students, veterans, and families, please join us outside for our annual photo by the flag. Thank you, everyone, for your attendance today.